Before I invite Honorable Chairman Dr. Ajeenkya DY Patil to address the gathering, I would like to give an introduction about him. Dr. Ajeenkya DY Patil is the President of Ajeenkya DY Patil University and Chairman of Ajeenkya DY Patil Group, ADYPG. He holds leadership positions in several other organizations such as Vice President, Continental Medicare Foundation, Vice President, DY Patil Educational Academy, Trustee, DY Patil Education Society, and President Ram Rao Adik Education Society. He is also the Pro-Chancellor of Dr. DY Patil University at Navi Mumbai. Dr. Ajeenkya DY Patil has a Master's in Business Administration from Richmond College, UK. He has been awarded an honorary doctorate by University of Central Lancashire, United Kingdom, for his outstanding achievements in the fields of education, healthcare, and social services. His illustrious list of achievements includes being appointed as chairman, Central Board of Workers Education CBWE by Ministry of Labour, Government of India. The the honorary president of Guyana appointed him to be economic advisor, and in June 2013 he was appointed as honorary consul of the Republic of Guyana in Mumbai with consular jurisdiction over the state of Maharashtra. During July 2007 and April 2010, he was nominated as Chancellor's nominee on the Management Council of University of Mumbai. Dr. Ajeenkya DY Patil is a personification of exceptional leadership ability with an accomplished track record in articulating a compelling vision and successfully leading institutional change while responding to diverse challenges and interests. He has proven proficiency in attracting meaningful collaborations from public and private sectors at local and international levels. He has actively initiated long-term programs with leading international universities around the world. I request Honorable Chairman Dr. Ajeenkya DY Patil, the man of distinct vision, ideas, and source of our inspiration, to say a few words in his address to the gathering.
Thank you. I seek the blessings of Sri Satya Sai Baba before I address this gathering. I'm not really a speaker at today's event because it's a two-day workshop and there are so many illustrious dignitaries amongst us, including dignitaries on the dais, off dais. So I'm quite looking forward to what they have to say, and I do hope that this two-day workshop will be a meaningful exercise in our understanding of the accreditation process as well as the quality systems that need to be in place in our organization. I would like to welcome General Ashok Kapoorji, Dr. Jay Shankaranji, Dr. Ganesh, Sushant, and Dr. Sonone on the dais, and many of you individuals sitting in the audience, because I know there are principals from various institutes, there are faculty from various institutes, there are some industry captains. So thank you all for coming. We welcome you to the DY Patil campus. And I do hope that this two-day workshop gets some meaningful things out of this event, because I think what I have been looking at in terms of quality is really not a process of just accreditation, but I think it has to be ingrained in the DNA of every organization that exists. It should not be a process where we feel that it should be a systems of checks and balances or ticks in a box where we've done this, we have research, we have facilities, our teaching methodology is so and so. But I think it should be a will from within every individual of an organization to really strive towards that success. Because when we set up this organization, first there was nothing here, there was almost barren land. Then we came up with a plan to set up this great university. Slowly but surely, that building took shape. It came into a meaningful existence. It was quite a struggle because we had to work with a lot of stakeholders, both with the public as well as with the government and the private sector. And eventually, over a period of time, this university did come up. Now that the building was up, what to do next? I think next coming the teachers, the students, and the mass that comes into this organization. Because what happens when we attract good faculty, we automatically attract good students. When we attract good students, we automatically attract good faculty. So I think that directly proportional to what you offer to the pupils. But end of the day, as an organization, we feel that the students are our main cause. I think if the pupils are happy, then we make a happy organization, because happy pupils can be made only happy if the staff is organized, if the staff is happy and they're content with what they're doing. So I think the objective of this organization is just not to get accredited. The objective of this organization is to create a happy organization, an organization which likes to excel, which likes to teach, which likes to create change, which tries to do something meaningful. It should create students, it should create leaders, it should create entrepreneurs that really go out into the real world and create change for the whole globe, not only for our country. You are seeing so much progress happening in various areas, whether it's technological revolution, agricultural revolution, or even the revolution in the thoughts of the youngsters. And I think we are at a cusp of a change where the youngsters will take this globe into a next century, which will be completely different to what we imagine. So I think it's a very dynamically changing situation. So in terms of quality, I think we need to really tweak our systems as to how the future of education is and will be. Just the other day, I was sitting with Dr. Deshpande, who's very active, and I thank him for the active encouragement he gives me in the setup of the university. And he was explaining the systems and processes set up in the university. And for the benefit of the members here, the university is called an innovation university. And the idea of calling it as an innovation university is because we want to do things innovatively. And the whole point of innovating is that students really get an experience of coming into this organization and getting a completely different experience. And that's what the team at the university is doing. So I was extremely touched in a sense that they're trying to do such cutting edge work in the university because the way they are teaching, the teaching methodology, the way they are accrediting the students, the way they are benchmarking them to certain areas. So it's almost like how the student centric learning will happen in this organization. And that was the whole crux of this presentation. So I think there's some real change happening at the university. And I think we have a lot of players who have been there with this organization right from my father's days. Probably they'll be here till my grandchildren's days. But I think the idea is to change with the time. So we have to take the best of the senior faculty that we have, the best of the junior faculty we have, and we have to amalgate all their strengths and the knowledge that we have accompanied over a period of so many years because it is constantly to evolve and change and to be dynamic to please our students because at the end of the day the students are what makes an organization. Eventually I think technology will also play a critical role in the way education is shaped and the way education is delivered. So perhaps a brick and mortar establishment may become irrelevant. So I think we need to even think of how technology will play a role in educating the future. So it's just not about systems and processes, but it's also about imagining a world which is different, which is unique, and how we will cope up with that change. At the end of the day, I think every child who goes out of this organization should realize that he just did not come here to get an education or a degree certificate that will hang on his wall and make him proud that I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, I'm a graduate of a particular faculty. But he should feel empathy for this organization that that professor who taught me was so wonderful, that teacher who came to me when I was in distress, the hostel experience that I had when the quality of the food was not good. These are the kind of little experiences that make an organization. And I think every member, every team member in an organization has to strive for excellence. And in this organization, we never call them staff members, we call them team members. Because right from the vice chancellor to the sweeper that exists in this organization is equal to us. And we firmly believe that educational organizations are a leveler of sort. In a sense, you get people from all communities, castes, creeds. There's no black or white here, there's no religion here. It's only an experience of education. And together, I think we have to create a change that will animate like a glow of light for the world to emulate. We often speak Prime Minister Modi speaking so passionately about digitization, and I think, in a sense, digitization is a step in the right direction because it will bring in a lot of transparency into the system. And I think transparency is something which is very much needed in society because once transparency comes into the system, the population automatically work into the systems and processes that exist. I think we must support this move of transparencies. Yes, there may be bottlenecks, there may be problems, and but who doesn't have challenges? I think every project that you take up has challenges. This university that we set up was a huge challenge for ourselves. So when you're talking of completely changing a nation, transforming a nation, I think we really need to support people in this transformation. And I think a change can only occur if it's at the ground level because we have to think as one India, we have to think as one population. We just don't have to think about what it holds for us today, but what it holds for our children, our grandchildren, and the future generations. If you compare India to China, if you see China 20 years back was more backward than India was in those days. And today it's like one of the global economies of the world. Today it's perhaps economically only in size to America. So I think that's one benchmark we need to look at. That if a country like China could achieve what it did in terms of its economic growth, we with a robust democracy and great leadership today, I don't see any reason why we can't be a global superpower. We are a knowledge base to the world. Our engineers, our doctors create systems around the world. You see Tata Consultancy, you see Infosys. I was in Europe recently and I was addressing a conference. And the conference again, major players were from the Indian sector, and I was just amazed as to if these technologies can be put in place into fueling the economy of the world. Why not look at India itself as making ourselves a global superpower? But surely that is happening, whether our leaders want it or don't. But I think the people are making it happen, and it's you, the generation, that has to make it happen. Now, again, this 2 day workshop is going to be a very interesting event. So, I urge, especially my team members, to pay personal attention to this because while I say that we have to create a robust system, I think there is a system that exists. So, we have to follow those systems and processes, and I think to work towards an excellent institute, I think it's very important to work as a mass, as a team. Some of you may agree with the processes, some of you may disagree with the processes. But agreement and disagreement is fine as long as your aim and ambition is for the betterment of this organization. And when it's betterment for the organization, it's betterment for the pupils and children. I think they are your primary principality, and you have to look at them as to how, when they come out into the real world, they'll be robust students. So I urge you to pay attention to this workshop because when you get such senior and eminent people to tell you, talk to you, I think it's a vast experience that they come with, and I think every word they say has an impact on you. Words have had impact on me. I've heard many brilliant speakers talk, and it's just these little sentences that create a change in your life. It has happened to so many individuals. I remember now. I hope I'm not taking a little bit more time because I was not a speaker today, but we were going through a tremendous financial burden about 7 or 8 years ago. But my father always taught me to be very positive. And one of his friends from the UAE visited, a very successful businessman, and he went there with not a penny in his pocket, and he's one of the richest men in Dubai today. And I was almost in tears when I spoke to him, and his name is Ram Baksani. Today I'll take it at this public gathering, and I said, I am deeply troubled because here I am trying to create change, trying to create a system for the betterment of the world. And sometimes I feel, is it a thankless job? As to because I could easily be happy or satisfied doing something different and make loads and loads of money. But here really I'm trying to put in something, and I'm really upset as to how things are progressing. And all he told me in those few minutes is he's saying, बेटा जब मैं दुबई गया था मेरे पास कुछ नहीं था. आपके ऊपर लोग पत्थर फेंकेंगे, ईंटें फेंकेंगे, गालियां देंगे, वो सब आप जमा कर लो. मैंने वो जमा जमा करके मैंने हमारा आशियाना बना दिया. And I think those words immediately struck a bell in my head because I said, here is this individual who's almost God sent, who comes to you and tells you at the weakest moment of your life that this is the confidence that you require. And that changed my thinking. And the moment my thinking changed, immediately positive results started happening from the very next day. So I think it's the thought of positivity. This organization has a lot of spirituality. This organization has a lot of blessings. We have great saints like Satya Sai Baba blessing us. I'm in the company of several saints all the time. My father has a great legacy that he's created. We have individuals working from the day this organization was established. We have Professor Bhandarkar. We have Professor Bhagwat. So I think it's a great legacy that we've created, but this legacy should continue with the times. It should evolve with the times. And I think the step for accreditation is in the right direction. We should all embrace it with love and affection and take this organization to even greater heights. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here. I look forward to 2 days of the great eminent individuals who will speak at this gathering. Thank you very much.